Boom. Here we go. Welcome to another transformative episode of Don't Pick the Scab podcast, where authenticity meets inspiration. Today, we're diving deep into the journey of healing after divorce, a topic that resonates with so many, especially men over 40. Navigating life's second chances, I'm thrilled to introduce our guest, a true beacon of resilience and wisdom, and a funny guy. Joining us is Anthony Chappell. AC, what's up?
Man, what's going on? How you doing, man?
I'm so glad to have you here today.
Hey.
We're going to talk about divorce recovery. You've been down the aisle a couple of times, and we were talking earlier how you wish podcasting was around to give you some clarity. But we're going to talk about co-parenting, because sometimes that could be a shit show. And I shared with you last time that my co-parenting thing was a shit show. But go ahead and tell the people your story, and then we'll talk some more about that.
Hey, I appreciate this, man. Thanks for having me on. It's an honor. Like you said, I've been married. We spoke earlier, shot around a little bit, but I've been married twice, man. Three times, I'm sorry, but I've been divorced twice.
Okay.
And so, like I was saying earlier, I wish podcasts would have been a thing and yours would have been around. Maybe I wouldn't have made that same mistake twice. I coming from the Army, and one thing about the Army, when you join young, and you get that first check, you feel this empowerment. It's your first, sometimes it's somebody's first experience with money. And so with that comes this sense of empowerment. What? I'm going to make this much money? Now, mind you, it's not that much money. It's not that much money.
It's more than what you had.
It's more than what you've seen in the past. Whoa, this is mine. Oh, okay. And so with that comes this sense of, I can take on the world. I'm a soldier and I'm making some money. Oh, man. So naturally, okay, I can get married because I can handle that, right? That's the mindset that a lot of young people in the Army have. And so I was one of them. And I got married way too fast, way too young. Way too fast, way too young. I had no idea. I had seen marriage. My parents stayed together till my father passed, and I'd seen marriage. But the funny thing about seeing marriage as a kid, I saw some bad, but parents try to mask the bad. They don't want the kids to see too much of the bad. So you don't see too much of it. And hey, I like to joke around and say that, you know who I blame for a lot of divorce amongst the Black community? Shows like The Cosby Show.
It's too perfect.
It's too perfect, man. It's too perfect. It's a doctor and a lawyer, and they're just having laughs, and even the bad parts, even the bad things that happen on it, you just laughs. Oh, marriage is easy.
Wow, that is deep.
Marriage is easy, right? Because the Cosby Show showed us.
And when it's not?
Oh, my God. When reality slaps you across the face, bro. Well, I heard somebody say once that within the first week of being married, there are usually grounds for divorce. It's up to those two people to figure out grounds to stay married. And when you're not, when you're young and dumb, and you know what they say, but when you're young and dumb, you don't know how to navigate. You see the bad. Oh, man, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I ain't got to deal with that. You don't know how to navigate and say, I see the bad, but there's some good here too. And we need to work. We're going to work on this bad, but the good, there's enough good here for me to stay in this and work on this. I didn't understand it. Neither one of us did.
So back in the day, between the first two marriages, the divorce and the second marriage, do you remember what kind of healing did you do, if any?
Oh, I'm glad you threw that second part on there, because there was none. Because I didn't know how I was going to answer the question because there was none. There was no healing. There was a lot of anger.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mistrust. I didn't trust. Forget people say I didn't trust women or whatever. I didn't trust anybody at that point, because I saw my parents and I was like, okay, that's what marriage is supposed to be. There's each other they're supposed to have each other's back. And
Correct.
shouldn't that happen in my marriage? That's what I'm thinking. And now that I've witnessed this and experienced this, I don't trust anybody. Like, I lost a lot of good friends. I lost a lot of relationships that I could have had, just friendships. And I didn't know how to deal with that because I didn't trust anybody, anywhere, anytime. And so I had a life of not so much seclusion physically, but psychologically, I was shut off from everybody. Everybody.
Mine was like that, but mine was more everybody's stupid until proven otherwise.
God. Yeah, a
Say,
little bit of that too.
you prove to me you're not an idiot. So same thing. It's almost like a recovery mechanism. Just try and protect yourself. Just put that armor
Yeah.
up. But man, that anger is unrelenting because what happens is it gets fueled by more and you go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So then after the second divorce, did you do any healing?
Not enough. Not enough. And I
Yeah.
say that because I did get married again. And my wife, look, again, I still had this feeling of I don't trust anybody. And here I was getting married again. And my wife, the first few years, it was rough because my wife was like, I'm not your enemy. I don't know why you think I'm your enemy. Me, everybody's my enemy. DTA, don't trust anybody. I literally went around saying that. That was like my mantra. DTA, don't trust anybody. And I can't trust her, but I had experienced, especially the second one, I'd experienced something that really eliminated trust from my repertoire. Like my vocabulary did not have that T word in it, but yet I got married again. So it was, now, naturally, I was able to heal during the marriage. I should have probably done that before, of course, but not nearly enough.
So with me, it was healing not during marriage, but healing during dating, and which is just as hard because you put those. I tell people that life is a bunch of expectations, and you expect that everybody wants to be the Cosby. That's a great motif too, by the way. Everybody can be Cosby, but from my standpoint, my parents were divorced, so I didn't have a good foundation to bounce off of. So what can you tell the people out there who don't have that good foundation to bounce off of, what to look for?
Oh, wow. In marriage or
Marriage,
divorce?
in marriage and or healing.
In marriage, I'll say this. I think so many of us, and I know there are marriages that have worked. That's the thing. Because when you tell somebody, hey, you're not ready, or you're too young, or you got some things you need to work out with, people don't like taking criticism very well, number one. And number two, they always have an example to discount your theory. Wait a minute. I know such and such back in high school. They got married and they're still together. Kudos to them. That's great. But I guarantee you, if you took the time to sit and talk to them, they will tell you, boy, it was I guarantee you, boy, it was hard. Marriage is not for the faint of heart.
Correct.
It's not for the faint of anything, but it's for the heart. It is hard. And I think one of the most important things about marriage is two things. One, for you to think that marriages are out every day, I'm just in love with this person and I'm just head over heels about this person. That's not true. Because there are days you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, this person here, I thought I had this pillow in my hand and they were sleeping, man. There are those days or nights. And you've just got to learn to work through the differences of opinion, the differences of how you guys were raised. You have different morals. It's amazing how we think that, oh, I found my person and we just interlock like a puzzle piece and everything I believe in. No, that's not how it works. She was raised differently. You probably were raised differently. There's 4 people involved in that. 6, actually. Her parents, her, your parents, you. The way they raised you and the way they raised her, odds are not the same.
Want to be a little different.
Yeah. And you bring those two people together and you think everything is going to be peachy keen. Oh, this is not how I fold towels. Well, I don't fold towels like that. That's crazy. That was one of my things right there. That was one. Well, why you fold them like that? Because my mother taught me how to fold towels. And clearly you're not telling me my mother is wrong. And I had to learn that just because she folds towels differently does not make it wrong. I literally had to learn that in my 40s. Right, you hear me, right? In my 40s. That's one thing. The other thing, as far as divorce, don't make the mistake I made. I just told you twice. You need to take time. You need to heal. And people say, what does healing look like? I don't think it has a look. Like I can't look at somebody and say, he's healing right
They healed.
Yeah, I can't look at somebody and say, oh yeah, they're healed. You know when you're healing. And if you're healing, I think if you're healing, you know that you're healing and you're not ready. If you're not healing or you refuse to believe you need need to be healed, then there's a problem. Because regardless of the situation, divorce is hard. Divorce is tough. Divorce is very few things in my life have gone through that affected me more than divorce.
Yeah.
Very few. And I heard someone say it reminded them of a death.
That keeps giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you've ever lost anybody close to you to death, you've got to heal from that. People take time from work. People take time from school. They take time from doing other activities. They just need to be alone, heal. You realize we don't do that for divorce. You're still going to work.
Yep.
You're still going to school. You're still doing the things because we have this thought that, oh, I've got to stay busy. That's to keep my mind off of this divorce. No, you really need to take time to yourself. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot, man.
I've got two things off that, man. You made me remind me of two things. So the first thing is my wife and I are like the boss, type A. And so when we go to IKEA and we pick up a queen size bed frame,
Oh man, I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
we know when we're put together, you can't because we know if someone says the word, it's over.
Oh my God, bro.
I have to grunt and point. We cannot say words until that thing is totally together.
Man.
I don't know what I'm doing, and I think she'll know what she's doing. And man,
Oh my God, man.
it's like an episode of Land of the Lost. And number two, man, I fell in love with my wife big time when I found out that she could fold a fitted sheet. That is a skill.
That's an art. It's a lost art.
So I got sleeve stacks over here, and I got a fitted sheet over here. So life is good, man. But yeah, that's very interesting. So people have to heal in order to move forward. And that was something, like I said, I serial dated, and I had a good time.
Serial dated.
But we ain't talking Count Chocula, but we talking serial dated. Woo! 1, 2, 3. But anyway, I serial dated too fast, too soon, and it was a shit show. But man, I had a great time. So I had to sit back and say, hey, I need to take care of myself, figure out myself. So I sat back and I stopped for a couple of months, weeks, months, six months to figure myself out and then get back out there. But man, it was way different once I took time to work on myself, because you have to have a little bit of that self-care.
Yeah.
And self-care involves being a little bit selfish or selfless.
I was about to say maybe selfless, but I don't know about selfish, because
people don't realize. So it's almost like when the plane's going down, they tell you to put your kids, put your mask on first and then your kids. But when we're going through trials or tribulations, we always take care of everybody else instead of ourselves.
Yep.
Why is that?
That's a good question. I think there may be something in us that we have to prove, not to anybody else, but we have to prove to ourselves that we're not the ones that are broken.
Oh,
See, I can help anybody else. It wasn't me. And that was one of the things that I think that in my first divorce, I had to come to terms with. Oh, it's all her. Nah, man, it was her. Nah, it wasn't me. And come to find out, nah, it was a little bit of both of you. It was a little bit of both of you. And I think sometimes we try to help others to prove to ourselves that you're not broken, or it wasn't you. This was her. This was all her. And the more we help, or at least we think we're helping, the more we help, I think the more a lot of times we enter the world of delusion even further.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget after in the state of Texas, they made us take a short, I don't know if it was a seminar or class or whatever it was, but there was something that stuck with me, even going through a divorce, that to this day. And we're sitting in there, and the woman that was giving the class/seminar said, even though you guys are going through divorce right now, and some of you hate the other or whatever, at one point, that person could do no wrong. And I was like, she's right. Like when you get married,
yep.
perfect. It's, oh man, this is perfect. I'm gonna get married. This is the one. And fast forward to divorce, all of a sudden, everything that person did was wrong. Like, make that make sense. Make it make sense. How can that happen? 1 minute, everything they did was right. They could fold a perfect fitted sheet. They folded what? She can fold a perfect fitted sheet. She's the one. And then all of a sudden, one day you might be getting divorced, and you're like, everything she did was wrong. It makes no sense. You played a part. And sometimes we play a bigger part than we want to admit. We got to figure that out. It's more than just differences of opinion. Sometimes you got to take that time. Like you said, you got to take that time to sit and within yourself and just figure things out. Or counseling, whatever. But that's another thing. I didn't do counseling either.
So let's move on to the F word. Forgiveness.
Of who? Of who? Nah.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on.
Oh my God, man.
That's a tough one, especially when it's acrimonious and it's crazy. So in a perfect world, forgiveness is for you in a perfect world, and you should forgive them for what they did and that you did.
Back to the land of the lost.
Hey, when that first lease that started talking, I'm like, they can talk.
Oh man.
Ooh. So forgiveness is a tough one. And that was one that I had a hard time with. But once I let it go, it's almost like letting go, but you forgive, but you don't forget, especially if it's crazy.
I don't think you ever forget. Now, I don't know about you. I don't think you ever forget.
No.
Yeah, yes. I don't think you ever forget. No.
And so they go hand in hand, but they're separate. But the forgiveness is, I tell people, forgiveness is more like, so your brain's like a Carvana tower, and there's all kind of cars in there, and there's like Maseratis and this, and there's a couple of Volkswagen things in there you need to get rid of. So her or his memories are in that Volkswagen thing. You need to get that car out of that tower because it's taking up a parking spot in your brain that you don't need. So forgiveness takes that car, throws it out the back door.
Okay.
Yeah. So you only have so many parking spots in your brain. So why tie it up with the Volkswagen thing?
Man. And that makes sense. But
I know it's tough. Oh, yeah, it's tough. At the beginning, it's impossible because what happens is it's okay to hate your ex. So
I heard that shameless plug right there.
So that fuel just add to that fire. So that fire prevents forgiveness from coming to the top.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough. So how is your forgiveness journey?
Oh my
Or
God.
is your forgiveness journey? There we go.
Man. So, man, I got some Volkswagens that are,
Still in there?
yeah, they still in the garage, bro. Now I will. So my first ex-wife,
Whew.
we're good now.
Wow.
We're good now. But that took, first of all, I can't say that it was anything that her nor I did to fix that relationship. It was 100% my wife, my current wife. It was 100% her. Believe it or not,
Wow.
it was her making a phone call to her by my ex-wife behind my back, didn't tell me. I don't even know how, to this day, I don't even know how she got the number.
Yeah.
Her making that phone call, and I don't know what she said. I don't know what she said or what was spoken about, but the next thing I know, she was telling me, hey, I talked to your ex, and here's the number. You guys need to talk. There's a child involved. You guys need to talk. And we talked. And since then, we've been cool. I don't know how my wife pulled this off. But I'm going to tell you, up to that point, and I'm not talking about 1, 2, 3 years. We're talking about, 13, 14 years? Oh, no, we were not each other's favorite person at all. That's,
Wow.
yeah. It was nothing, like I said, nothing we did. That 100% was my wife. Now, the second one, that's the Volkswagen that's
Sitting in the garage.
sitting in the garage. And look, right now, the battery is dead. I don't know if they can. I don't know how you gonna move it. You got to start this and then get it out. I don't know how you gonna get it out, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to start it, but
Maybe you and your wife can push it.
I don't think she's gonna push that one.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't think she's gonna push that one. I don't think.
Man, that's a heck of a story, man. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it was 100% her.
Dang.
I don't even know what she said. That might be a conversation we have later on. What did you say?
Man.
And when I say we're good,
That's a hell of a initiative. Man, that is awesome.
yeah. She has that ability. Now, she has not used that superpower with my second ex-wife. I don't think that's going to happen.
So, you never know.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just being honest.
All right. So let's talk about co-parenting. Talk about forgiveness. Co-parenting. I think I told you that my co-parenting was a shit show, but my kids turned out all right.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed with that. And I told you that I had to love my kids more than I hated my ex.
Yes.
And that's what got me over the hump. But not at first, because that anger blinded me in my co-parenting. And so other than loving my kids more than hating my ex, I never talked shit about her in front of them.
Yes.
That was hard too. That was hard too.
Yeah.
But those were my two mantras. What were some of your mantras? What are some things you did?
That was one of them. Not saying anything negative. And the hard part about that is there is negative being said about you. Like, you're like, our natural response is, you talk about me? Oh, it's coming back. Don't worry. I got notes. I'm ready. But I tried to make it abundantly clear that, I'm not going to, no matter what they said, what that person said, I'm not going to return that fire. And that's hard because, man, some of the things that have been said, I'm like, man, it's, clearly those fiery darts were intended for more than just heat. No, they weren't intended to burn. They were intended to maim, to punish. And I'm like, man, but I think it's clearly what you said. It's, you had to love your children more than you hated your ex. I think that should be everybody's mantra. Because you're going to deal with some things. Like, you're going to deal with some stuff. Let's just be clear. Everybody's experience is different. I've seen people get divorced, and man, their co-parenting is just awesome. Like, awesome. And I'm like, I don't know what planet y'all came from.
Yep.
I don't know. Honestly, I'd be like, why'd y'all even get divorced? Y'all get along so good as friends and all that. How'd y'all even get divorced? Neither here nor there, but that to me is those two things are extremely important. Extremely important because I don't want any of my children to be divorced. Currently none of them are married yet. But if that time comes, I would want them to react the way I tried to react. I've got a son. He's 34. He hasn't been married yet. But if that were to happen, I don't want him to experience divorce. But if that should happen, I would want him to hold himself to a higher standard and say, you know what? Yeah, I could fire back.
No matter what's going on.
No matter what's going on. But my kids, that's their mother. They don't get a chance to pick and choose. That's their mother. And the last thing you want to do is degrade their mother in front of them. It's important. Now, she may degrade you. I can't control that. You can't control that. But you can only control what you do. That's important.
Controlling your narrative is huge. And sometimes, so how do you, one of the things that I talk about with my men is when identity. So you go from being a divorcee to Anthony. What's that transition look like? I'm divorced. Who are you? I'm divorced. No, I'm Anthony. What's that transition look like?
That was not pretty. That was not pretty. Not pretty at all. I think I never got, between the first and second marriage, I'm not sure if I ever got back to Anthony. I don't think I did. And part of that is, number one, it didn't happen quickly. There were years in between the marriage. It wasn't like it was, oh, you got married in 6 months. No, that's not what happened. Again, I didn't know how. I didn't heal. I didn't seek help. I could have found somebody who had another male or a brother, somebody that had experienced divorce. Hey, what do I do? But I had like I said earlier, I had shut myself off from everybody. And I internalized everything. And I don't think I think I stayed divorced until I got remarried. And it was, I don't know about you, because you said you experienced that seclusion, where yours was you're stupid until proven smart. But I think I didn't have the resources we have now. That's number one. That wasn't a thing. But I always thought that in order to be strong, you had to appear strong. So going to ask somebody for help that's a sign of weakness. That's what I was thinking. That's a sign of weakness. I've got to show that, yeah, I'm cool, especially being a soldier too. It was a double-edged sword, hearing a black man and a soldier going to ask somebody, hey, what do I do? That's just not something I should do, when in reality, that's exactly what I should have done. I can honestly sit here and say that I can't say that I ever got back to Anthony after the first one. The second one, I think I had, because of circumstances, there was a year in between. It was almost as if we were separated. And so I was able to get back, I think, to a part. And I know exactly when it happened. That's the thing. That's why I can say it didn't happen the first time, but it happened the second time. I know exactly when it happened. I remember just out of nowhere, there was this sense of peace. There was a sense of, and when I say peace, yeah, I'm going through a divorce, right? I'm going through hell. I'm dealing with her. I'm all kind of stuff. But I remember the instance of having this feeling of, you know what, man? You're okay. You're cool. Yeah, you're divorced, but you know what? Look at all the things you've got going on for you. You're good. You're okay. You're cool. And it wasn't a feeling of, get back out there, champ. That's not what I'm saying. Get back in the game. No, it was more along the lines of whenever I want to get back in the game, I can get in there. It was that sense of control, not control, maybe control is a bad word, but that sense of confidence, let's say that sense of confidence to say, yeah, you're back. Because there's a lot of times I know when I got divorced, I did not feel that I was good enough. I failed. Isn't that what a lot of men feel? Especially the first divorce. I failed. You could not tell me that I did not fail. I failed. I had a wife, children, whole marriage, and I failed. When in actuality, it takes two to make a marriage work. But that's to answer your question. Yeah, that I didn't experience that after the first marriage. No, I did experience it after the second.
So how can we get men, especially black men, to be more accepting of outside help?
Man, you know what? When you figure that out, you let me. I've talked to a few black men on that question right there that you just asked, and I get the same answer throughout,
Which is?
We don't know. You thought there was going to be you thought this? No, we don't. It's going to take years of change from generational teachings.
Tuskegee.
And because of that, our people don't trust.
Mistrust.
And rightly, I'm not saying that I'm by no means, and I'm saying, oh, get over it. No, that's not what I'm saying. But because of that, I'm saying that it was so hard for generations prior to us for them to say, you know what, you need help? You need to go out there and get it, whether it be mental, whether it be physical. You need to see the doctor, go get your checkups. There was none of that. There was, and I know it was a comedy and everything, and I'm not making light of the subject, but like Chris Rock said, put some tussin on it. Let's rub some dirt on it. That's what it was. And that was our mantra, man. Hey, what you talking about, man? You need to get some help. Bro, I'll give you some help. That's the kind of stuff. That's how we were raised. That's to be a man. You hurting? No, that ain't a man. Men don't hurt. Men don't cry. All of that stuff. And it's going to take generations. It's going to take a generation to say we put a stop to it. But then it's going to take generations for that to completely get out of our communities. Yeah. And that's what it's going to take. And why that has not happened, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. It could be we're just conditioned.
Yeah.
Men.
I've thought about that subject for a little bit. And I always think they talk about the big migration. So my parents went from Arkansas to Kansas City, part of that migration back in the 60s. And there was like a divide between North and South black people.
Okay.
After we moved up north. And it's almost like Northern people, not to say Atlanta's not bad, Northern people have a different outlook on life and or healing and or medicine than people in the southern states.
Yes.
And what's interesting about that too, in 2026, 25, 24, a lot of people are moving back.
Yes.
And
yes, in flocks.
Yeah, in flocks. So they're moving back. So they're infiltrating medicine and things like that. So I think we have a hard way to go for medicine and trust and distrust, but I think we'll be okay. But yeah, men need to loosen up a little bit and go out. It was hard for me to go ask for help. And mine was,
and I didn't.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
And I got lucky more so than anything else. All right. AC, man, that was interesting, man. You came with it.
I ain't do nothing but tell you what I did wrong. That's all.
Hey, stories.
Hey, you're You're
Where
right.
can the people find you on the internet?
Man, I have my own podcast, The Life Strong Project. That's at thelifestrongproject.com, where we share insightful, positive stories on Black culture, Black creators, that kind of thing. You can find me also on LinkedIn, Facebook, all those different platforms. And it's not hard to find, brother. I ain't hard to find. And then look, y'all can catch me again on this podcast, hopefully, on Don't Pick the Scab podcast. Shameless plug.
Because you stay on long. If you're on too long, you run up my light bill.
Hey. Yes, sir.
All right, AC, I appreciate you, man. This was fun, and we're definitely going to do it back and forth a couple of times. But yeah.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me, man. It was awesome.